Hey everyone, and welcome to Screams After Midnight TV edition. I am Peter, that over there is Tim, and we are working our way through Tales from the Crypt. It's going to be season 6 episode. Yeah, we made it season 6, Tim. We're on a new season. And season 5 pretty much sucked. Right? There's a couple of decent episodes, but it was mostly sucky to downright terrible. And we're at the dawn of a new age. We're at the dawn of season 6. 666 is a thing. It's a horror show, so we should benefit from the 6 factor.
Okay.
Look, I know I sound like a raving madman, but this episode has a lot of raving mad people in it, so I feel like it's on topic, it's on point. So, full spoilers for the episode. The episode itself is called Let the Punishment Fit the Crime. So we're going to get into this. This one stars Catherine O'Hara, who I recognised instantly as the mum from Home Alone.
Oh, sure. I mean,
what do you
she's
recognise?
in Beetlejuice.
Oh, I'd like Beetlejuice though, Tim. Why would I recognise her from that?
I don't know. It's better than Home Alone. Jesus Christ.
Oh, it is not. Home Alone 1 and 2 are way better than Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is a Tim Burton movie. Therefore, mediocre at best.
All right.
Look, even in a striped shirt. How dare you? I mean, they're horizontal stripes, and I think Beetlejuice was vertical stripes, but still.
That sounds about right.
All the same. Screw you Beetlejuice-loving maniac. Anyway, so...
Catherine O'Hara is great. She's been in a ton of stuff. SCTV. I'm currently enjoying her on Schitt's Creek, which is a very, very funny show.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, she is great. I was happy to see her. And you got some other good people too. You got the dude from Ghostbusters 2.
That's exactly where I recognise him from too. He's there. His name is Peter McNichol, so he's there. I also recognise the Joseph Mayer. I wouldn't have known his name, but he's been in a bunch of stuff. He plays the judge in this because this episode is set in a courthouse because her character is arrested for seemingly driving an unlicensed vehicle. The license plate did not match up with this small town's thing. So
I never seen this episode before, but I guessed not the ending, but I guessed where they were within 5 seconds probably.
Yeah, because they're in what they call it Sticksville.
Yeah.
So basically, this is a really harsh courthouse, and she's sentenced to 10 lashings instead of an actual sentence. But then she keeps trying to talk herself out of it, and it keeps getting worse. She goes to a second courtroom, it becomes worse. It goes to a third courtroom, it becomes even worse. And it just keeps going. And it's basically just an episode of her constantly having worse and worse sentences from what she's done, and being just appalled because she's a lawyer herself. She's a lawyer who's won a lot of big cases, doing sort of class action lawsuits against big companies, and she's mortified as this really crappy public defender's defending her, and that's kind of the episode. And the judge is just really strict and wants to give these worst punishments possible. That is the gist of the episode. So I'll ask the question as I have done. We have had a streak of absolute shit. So here we go. First episode of season 6. It is a bright new day. It's a hope for the future. A new season, a fresh start. Tales from the Crypt, now 2.0. All new, all different. Rebirth.
They're going the Marvel method.
Secret Origin. New Justice. Well, that one works for this, actually, which is the new DC Comics news that was really exciting recently. Anyway, so, Tim, did you enjoy Let the Punishment Fit the Crime?
I did. I mean, to be fair, again, we've had a lot of really bad episodes, so...
Standards of Lord a bit.
Yeah, but, it's not like this was an amazing, oh my god, best of the series kind of episode, but I think this was, a perfectly fine, enjoyable episode, I definitely wasn't bored watching it. I liked all the actors and everything, and even though, I thought it was a little predictable, I still had fun on the ride.
The actors are the best part. I think my opinion of this is it's just okay. And I think obviously just okay is much better than we've had recently, so I guess that's a win. I think
this is kind of... Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, I think for me, the plot, it doesn't really feel like there is, I feel like, because the whole joke is that she keeps getting to a new courthouse and it keeps getting worse, and we're in this awful place, and I never felt like the ending sort of gave it much of a point. I was expecting more of a twist that had a point at the end.
Well, I mean, I think it's the whole thing is that this is basically like the afterlife. Like she, has gone to hell. I'm not sure how she died,
Yeah,
but it's like she is in some type of hell, and basically, it's kind of like one of those like, oh, like, people get like unique punishments and stuff, and so um she's kind of going through like all this different torture stuff, and then in the end, like, her punishment is that, like, oh, you're gonna end up having to be this, like, basically like lawyer for hell.
yeah,
uh
for purgatory or whatever you want to call this place.
yeah, some
Uh,
afterlife kind of thing.
yeah, no, I mean obviously it's quite obvious early on that that's what's going on. Because it's so ridiculous. But my
Yeah.
favorite part was definitely the actors. I like the judge a lot, and the way he would just be like, "Oh no, 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 no! Like no, you get 10
Yeah.
lashings and you will take it." Do you know what's funny? Because they kept pretending he was a different judge, but it was the same actor every time. And I think there was potential to do the whole Martin Sheen in different costumes or different, one has facial hair or
Oh,
something.
sure. Yeah.
And instead, they didn't do that. Instead, he came out, he played it the exact same way, but all the characters just acted as if he was a completely different person, except Catherine O'Hara's. Like, that's the same judge.
Yeah.
And that actually made it kind of funnier. It's like, everyone else is like, yeah, he's totally different. What are you talking about? But it's the same guy acting the exact same way.
Yeah.
So there was that. I kind of like the third courtroom was like this almost like dungeon looking room.
I actually had like a legit laugh like when her lawyer, I forget what his name was, but when he's like, like, Your Honor, may I approach the bench? He's like, certainly. He goes up, and like his, whatever he's sitting behind is so tall that he has to like barely poke his head up, and then he just gives like a little like hello. And so that was really funny.
I believe they call it the bench. Timmy,
The bench.
may I
Okay.
approach the bench?
That's stupid. It's not a bench. It's like a.
I can't fault that logic, Timmy. I can't fault it.
It looks more like a podium to me, but whatever. I'm no lawyer, so
It's more, it's more of a big desk, if anything.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
But hey,
I should get
so
one of those desks.
so so yeah, so she goes out. She's been in this car thing, and she's like, okay, so what's the deal with this? And she doesn't agree with anything this lawyer's doing. But he's like, I've got a plan. I've got a plan. And he's really like ridiculous, and she's like, oh, it's going to cost me 10. Like 10? Oh, that's easy. All this for $10? Here you go. I've paid my fine. Let me go. No, no, no. 10 lashings. She's like, what? You can't be serious. And the cops are dragging her out. But then they look up, like she like had like a little loophole. So, no, this is a license plate that's valid because the space counts as a digit. And the lookout's like, oh, it turns out you're okay, so you're fine. And she gets to leave. She's walking out the door, and they go, wait a minute, did you offer your services to someone in here? And she's like, that's not illegal. Yes, it is here. And they drag her into
Yeah.
courtroom B, and then she's she gets put in a pillory for a year as her punishment.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Feels like part of like the psychological torture or something too, where like where you're waiting for this punishment, and then it's like, oh no, like you're free of it. Okay, ooh, relief, and then it's like, oh well, wait a minute, no, we got you on
Yeah.
something else. Like,
Because I think if you didn't get it already, I think when she's in the pillory and she starts seeing like the people who have died because of the cases she's won. I was like, okay, right, this is the afterlife. This is
yeah,
that because ultimately what it leads up to, because throughout all the trials, her lawyer keeps saying, "Hey, may I suggest your honor? May I suggest public service for her?" And you think he's just trying to get her off, and this is public service, but what he's actually trying to do is get her to replace him because he wants to leave. He's in purgatory himself, and he was a good lawyer. He even brings it up at the end. Oh, I did way better. I was a way better lawyer than you. I did so much stuff. I paid
yeah,
off juries. I did all this. I won high profile cases. But he's finally getting to leave. So he actually willingly sits in the electric chair, and then she's left behind, and then she's like got the tweed jacket and the glasses and the bad wig, and she's got the whole shebang. But yeah, so that's the. I mean that's the episode. I think for me, the plot was. I mean, I had the entertainment value. The courtroom scenes were pretty funny, right? They were
yeah,
genuinely pretty funny, mainly down to the actors. I think the plot, though, overall, I felt like as soon as you had the first courtroom scene, you knew how the rest of it was going to keep going.
Yeah.
So she's going to keep thinking she's getting out, but she's not. It's worse. It's going to keep happening. Um, and you're like, okay, she's probably going to be stuck here forever at the end of this, right? That's where this is ending up. And maybe not forever. She'll eventually get out like he did, I suppose. But who knows how
Yeah.
long he's been here?
Yeah, but like you said, it's still entertaining because of the actors and everything. And I definitely wasn't bored at any point in this. I did like the once they're showing like all the dead people that were like the victims of her lawsuits and everything. Like I was like, oh, like the makeup and stuff looks pretty good on that. Um, it did seem kind of weird where like she was talking about how like she sued this big corporation, which normally I feel like is
A
kind
positive
of
thing?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
like usually you're like, yeah, corporations suck, like boo, but then like all of this was like, oh, like because you sued this corporation, like the fine people that make this product like couldn't save me and stuff. And it's
Yeah,
like,
like I couldn't get a pacemaker because you had like
yeah,
ruined the company that made them, and then the second one's like, oh, I couldn't afford my hospital bills because the doctors had to
yeah,
charge triple so they could pay for their malpractice
yeah,
lawsuit, and I was like, this is really weird. Why not make it more direct? Like she screwed people
yeah,
out of things instead, because it sounds like a positive thing. Like because at first you're like, oh, if the company actually was like causing problems and like
yeah.
doing bad things to people, then she was in the right to win the case. But
Yeah,
whatever.
like it's. I mean, I kind of feel like Tales from the Crypt is never trying to get a message across, but like, if they were, like, the weird message of this would be like, corporations are great. It's these evil lawyers that sue them that like make everything bad.
Which is
Like
bizarre. It's a bizarre
corporations.
message to have. I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel this is the sort of this is the Trump administration funded episode of Tales from the Crypt. Bizarre.
Yeah.
Just briefly, the Crypt Keeper for some reason has like opening and ending where a news program, news reporter, like TV show.
At this point, I'm whatever, fine, whatever you want to do. Like
Yeah.
it's not gonna have anything to do with the story, but I enjoyed it. He was doing kind of like his newscastery impression. He had some good puns. It was fun.
Yeah, yeah.
I did
There you
like
go.
at the when at the end he like he just get like an arrow in his head or something. And he says, "This just in."
Yeah, yeah, that was the
That's
thing.
funny.
That's better than some of his puns because some of his puns, like, I feel like at this point, 6 seasons in, like his puns are so predictable and they're just like they don't even work sometimes. They're just kind of there because we can fit this horror themed word into this sentence and it doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense or add any kind of meaning to it or anything like that. It's just
I feel like maybe I don't know, maybe they have a little bit more budget or they just want to have fun with it because they don't really do stuff. I feel like in the maybe the first like one or two seasons, like it always felt like a little more just him at the desk doing something, having some jokes, but not like big elaborate
I don't
sets.
I don't know if it's budget or if it's just because they realised at some point they could do wackier things with it and they just
Yeah.
started doing it because they thought this will be fun.
Yeah.
Could have been that. I don't know. But there you go. That is the season 6 premiere of Tales from the Crypt.
I want to say so. We already mentioned a bunch of times, but last season really bad. Like just a couple of okay episodes, but a lot of stinkers. And this episode definitely good, not great, but if this is what the season's gonna be like maybe not a lot of standout episodes, but everything is like okay. I'm fine with that.
And you have just jinxed us because episode 2 is going to be terrible now, right? That's obviously what's going to happen.
I hope not.
You
We'll
you
see.
have doomed us, Tim. You had to open your big Tim mouth and spit out your big Tim prediction, and now we're Tim jinxed.
Well, you're welcome. People like to see you suffer, so be fine.
Anyway, so that's the first episode of season 6. By all means, let us know what you think of it in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel and the show, head over to patreon.com/mailfuzztv. There's a link to that in the description. You get these reviews a week early if you're on the Patreon. But that is us. So thank you all once again for watching. We always appreciate it. Keep watching Scary TV, and we'll see you next time.